Welcome back to the channel. Today I will talk about why we feel so drained after we have been with people, and why there is definitely something to change that, so we can actually enjoy our interactions and just relax in who we actually are. So one of the things that I hear most people I speak about with what I'm doing, or just clients, one of the most common problems people have is basically saying no. Some people call themselves people pleasers. Some people say that they can't really set up boundaries, and some people just say that they are introverted or feel very drained after they have been around people, and that they prefer to be alone. And what's interesting about that is that, first of all, nothing is wrong with that, and that's fine. But a lot of people, they are extremely frustrated with it, and they would actually like it to be so that it could be relaxing and recharging to both be alone but also with people, and at the same time it wouldn't be a struggle for them to just say no when they feel like saying no, that it should not be a problem, right? And what's usually behind that is some different aspects of yourself, or also people, and also a connection between certain reactions and emotions. So let me explain. I also used to would be able to feel drained around people, and I had a lot of struggles saying no, even though I clearly felt that I meant no. It could be the smallest things, like, would you like to join me for this, or do you have time for this, or do you want to help me with this? And I said yes, 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 even though I kind of felt drained after, or a bit frustrated and annoyed, or sometimes I kind of projected that anger and frustration onto the person who asked me for something that I said yes to instead of saying no. And of course I was actually frustrated with myself. And what was behind it for me, and what I also see with a lot of the people I work with, is this idea that what you want is not important, that your needs doesn't matter, that your needs are a burden, that maybe you are a burden, and maybe other people can't be trusted. And maybe also that what makes you valuable or good enough is having people think well of you. So you will basically do everything in your power, or everything that you think you will have to do in order for people to like you, even if that is overstepping your own boundaries. So the funny thing is that we actually do this for our own sake, because it matches our beliefs and our survival strategies, something we need to do in order to think that we are okay. But of course, because it's dysfunctional or not very functional ways of doing it, we don't really get what we want with it, which is saying no to certain things, or just not doing certain things at a certain time when we don't want to. So what's interesting is that when I have worked with people, or I have seen it myself, start to remove some of these different beliefs, saying no to something you don't want stops being a thing. It's not like, oh, I can actually say it now. You don't even think about it. It just happens naturally, because there is nothing in your mind that longer tells you that if I say no, it will have a consequence or a negative effect. And then you're suddenly free, and you don't have to use any energy thinking about what you should say, because you actually feel safe and comfortable in knowing that it's completely fine how you feel, and you're able to express it if somebody asks, and you are always, basically allowed to say no to something. And if so, you say no to a person and they behave by becoming angry or upset, or maybe they criticize you or say something, have some type of reaction. A lot of us, we automatically feel fear or anger. And that's usually because we tie rejection or other people's anger or people not liking us up with anxiety, fear, powerlessness. And that's usually because of something that happened in our childhood with our parents. So because we have linked certain behaviors of others automatically together with certain feelings that we feel, just by somebody getting angry at us, we instantly feel the fear. because our brain made a mismatch in the past. So the next step is usually to detach all of those basically conditioned emotions, so that people can actually get frustrated or angry or say, man, then I don't want to be with you, or something like that, and you don't feel fear, anxiety, or powerlessness. You might be wondering why they are behaving that way. You might not feel like that's healthy, or you want to be around it, but that's very different from just going into instant fear, anxiety, or anger, which usually comes from powerlessness. So suddenly you can just say what you want to do, or what you want to, what feels right for you, and you basically take care of yourself, and you know that your needs are important and fine. And then if somebody reacts to it in a way that doesn't really make sense to you, you don't go into stress mode, basically. You can stay calm, you can stay grounded, and maybe you can even see that it's just something inside of them. Maybe they feel rejected now, and it has started their fears. And either you can be there for them, or you can just basically say, hey, are you okay? Or just say, see you next time, and then leave. And this is not about being cold, unempathic. It's just about removing triggers that makes you behave in a way that doesn't work for you and really doesn't serve you and your health. And I think this is amazing. And I think that I personally did not know that it was possible to basically reprogram that, or just actually deprogram it, because we don't program something new into the brain. We just basically remove the misunderstandings, the lies that has blocked you from just being yourself and feeling safe, even though somebody else is triggered or having a certain response. So to me, that's really freedom to be able to do that. And suddenly, when you can do that and you are not getting triggered, your interactions with other people become nurturing, recharging, fun, and of course it can still be nice to just be by yourself. It's not like you have to be around people all the time, that's not what I'm saying, but suddenly you can be around people without feeling drained. And also when you start to embrace who you are and you say yes to the things you want to and no to the things you don't want to, you also basically have experiences that you desire, and you don't spend time on things you don't want to do, that doesn't have any value to you. And eventually you just have a better life because it's filled with things that are meaningful to you, and you have healthy interactions, and you're not drained and stressed. So if you feel this way of being drained around people, not being able to say no, feeling like a pushover, a people pleaser, there's definitely something that can be changed if it's something you desire and something you want to change. And if you want to hear how that's possible, you are welcome to click the link in the description where there's a form where you can just write to me and we can set up a conversation to talk about it. And it doesn't cost anything, and there's no like, I don't know what's it called, commitment. It's just so you can hear more about it, so you can decide if it's something you want to proceed with or not. And for the people who wonders, I'm certified in the Lefko method, and that's why, or how I know this and why I'm doing it. And I have been doing it for a couple of years, and I did it and took the education because it was the only thing that basically helped me to rapidly change the things that I wanted to let go of that no longer served me. So I hope that this video it at least inspired you or gave you some interesting insights, and don't hesitate to ask me any questions if something comes up, and then I just hope I will see you very soon. Thank you for watching. I love you.